deep in the heart of the sunburnt expanse, a blazing arid desert where the horizon rippled like molten gold. An unexplainable tale was whispered among the scattered tribes and explorers who dared to cross its scorching dunes. They spoke of a creature both magnificent and terrifying, the giant red winged grasshopper. Its legend began with a single, haunting sound. A low, resonant humming, almost melodic, carried on the incessant desert winds. No one could pinpoint where it came from or whether it was even natural. Some said it was the sound of the winged beast stirring the air as it soared above the sands like a living ember, while others swore it wasn't a creature at all, but some forgotten summons woven into the land itself. One thing was certain: if you caught sight of it, the image would sear itself into your memory forever. Its body stood taller than the height of 3 men, its thorax forged in hues of molten crimson and obsidian black. And then there were its wings, massive, twice as long as its body, glimmering like flames dancing on folded silk and edged in patternless streaks of gold. When it moved with an uncanny fluidity, its every step shaking the parched earth. To see it was to feel both awe and dread in equal measure. But what truly set the beast apart, what sent shivers through the spines of even the bravest adventurers, were its luminous eyes. 2 orbs of faceted scarlet, igniting with reflected sunlight, unblinking and vast. Even though it was an insect, those who encountered the giant red-winged grasshopper swore it had a consciousness, as though it were watching, not mindlessly moving through instinct, but truly watching and judging you with an alien intelligence. The first documented sighting, or so it was claimed, surfaced from a local historian named Ilara Thane, a woman with an unquenchable thirst for mysteries. She stumbled across an ancient journal buried in the ruins of a sunken village carved into sandstone cliffs. The ruins themselves were extraordinary, filled with reliefs carved into the rock that depicted the creature in exacting detail. According to the writings, the grasshopper was no ordinary anomaly of nature, but a keeper or guardian watching over a lost oasis deep in the desert. The villagers believed this hidden bowl of verdant greenery and sparkling waters held unimaginable power, not merely sustaining life, but granting visions of the past and future. The grasshopper was said to allow only the worthy to pass, and those who sought the forbidden oasis without its permission were engulfed by wings of fire, consumed into ash. Most dismissed Alara's findings as eccentric folklore, until her discovery sparked a wave of treasure hunters, thrill seekers, and skeptics determined to confirm the truth. Not all returned, and those who did were forever changed. Among them was Marco Greaves, a renowned adventurer whose name alone inspired tales of daring and impossible feats. He arrived in the sunburnt expanse, arrogantly boasting that he would be the first to capture living proof of the creature. What he brought back, however, was not a trophy, but a haunting story carved into his sun-scarred face. Greaves spoke of following the creature's low, resonant hum through the baking dunes for days on end. It did not flee from him, nor did it engage. It simply stayed just out of his reach, leading him deeper and deeper into the sands. He described a moment when he crested a dune and finally locked eyes with the beast as its wings unfurled and caught the brutal desert sun, backlighting it with a fiery halo. For the first time in his life, Marco admitted, he felt small, powerless, as though he had been drawn into a force beyond human comprehension. Yet it neither attacked nor disappeared. Instead, it stood still, watching, its wings seemingly trembling under an unspoken tension. And then, in a sudden, unfathomable gust of wind, the grasshopper ascended into the skies. The sheer power of its leap, like a whirlwind of heat and sand, sent Marco tumbling backward, helpless against its magnitude. When the dust cleared, it was gone. But Greaves maintained that it had left him a warning, a vision, of forests reduced to deserts, skies choked with smoke, and oceans boiling away into memory. He refused to say more, retreating into silence for the rest of his days. Now, the legend of the giant red-winged grasshopper straddles the lines between myth, phenomenon, and ecological omen. Some scientists hypothesize that it may be a colossal member of a newly discovered or mutated orthopteran species, a biological wonder born of some extreme environmental conditions. Others point to glyphs in early desert folklore, linking the creature to ancient myths about balance, protection, and cycles of destruction and renewal. To this day, no one has managed to capture physical evidence of the creature, though scattered incidents continue to occur. Travelers finding inexplicable scorch marks in empty dunes, hearing the unmistakable hum of its wings, and even spotting it in the blazing sky, framed against an unforgiving sun. Was it truly a guardian of the earth, come to warn us against our recklessness, or simply a marvel of nature misunderstood by human eyes? Whatever the truth, the creature remains elusive, its wings silent to all but those willing, or perhaps foolish enough to seek it. And no matter how many official maps of the desert are drawn, no cartographer ever dares to mark the hidden oasis said to lie at its heart. But for those who venture into the sunburnt expanse, one thing remains clear. If the giant red-winged grasshopper finds you, it will decide your fate, not the other way around.